Hello tarot lovers and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, and on this channel we talk about building your spiritual confidence so you can listen to your intuition and read your tarot cards with ease. And today we are going to be talking about the Chariot card. I'm going to be taking a deep dive into this card, this one here, and talking to you all about the Waite symbolism. And I can tell you, it makes the deck absolutely come alive as you go through each one of the cards and look at the symbolism in detail. And I know for me, it's opened up symbolism in my whole life, because the way that the symbolism works in this tarot deck, it's the same symbolism that's in art, in architecture. Suddenly you find yourself walking into an art gallery and everything looks different. So if you love my work, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell and all that stuff. And I will see you in a moment, because we're going to spin the camera around and I'm going to show you this card in detail. Off we go. Let's have a look at the Chariot. Now I am using my giant Rider-Waite deck. I love to use this deck when I'm teaching because the cards are just that little bit bigger to look at. And of course the deck is exactly the same as this yellow Rider-Waite tarot deck, which is the traditional deck that the colors are supposed to be as close to when the deck was first released. You will see variation in color, and when I talk about color in the card, I'm using this particular deck, and you will see variation, but you know, that's okay, because the idea is we're using this to get a deeper understanding of the meaning of the card. You don't have to go away and memorize everything, and as we know, there's no right or wrong answer in the tarot. It's something that evolved, and I will go into the history. I promise you, I've got some fantastic books that I want to do some book reviews on that will take you through the history of the tarot. And I know that that's going to be a great series once I start doing those. So this is the Chariot card. Now I'm going to plug myself for a minute. These are my cheat sheets, and you can get these in my Etsy shop, and I will put a link down in the description for you so that you can see these sheets and decide whether you'd like to get these for yourself, so you can follow through with them as we do the as we go through the deck. So there is this here, which is my notes, and I always make these available because whenever I do a series like this, people always say, but what about your notes, Elizabeth? We really want your notes. So I've done that. These are available for you. Then there's these cheat sheets. So this is a worksheet, and I did show you how to use the worksheet way back in the first video. So I'll put a link to the playlist in the description box for you, and also a link to this particular set of cheat sheets as well. They come in a big bundle, so I'll give you a link to the bundle because that's the best value. And these are probably one of the best-selling items in my shop, and they're really a summary of everything I'm going to talk about today. So let's get started. I will put these across to one side, and so I can see them as I speak. Otherwise I forget things, because there's 78 cards. It's really hard to remember. So be really realistic with yourself. We're doing this, we're learning all this, not because there's an exam, not because we have to remember it all, but because we actually want to be able to have a richer understanding of the cards, because the idea is that you learn the meaning of this card and then you apply it to your life. What has happened in your life that is resonant of the Chariot, so that when that card comes up in front of you, in front of other cards around that particular card, that you can say, okay, this is the message that I need to hear, or the person I'm reading for needs to hear. So 7, the Chariot is number 7. Number 7 is about confidence and ability. It's about looking at your desire within, that the world is out there. It's a wonderful place to be, and you just want to go out there and achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. And if you notice when you look in the card, there's no reins. The charioteer is just going out there with absolute confidence that that chariot is going to take him where he needs to go, or her. So the timing for the chariot is Cancer, and the astrological sign for Cancer is intense, it's loving, it's generous. This is a sign that is quite psychic. Whenever I hear that people astrological sign Cancer, I immediately think, this is the psychic sign. They are deeply sensitive, they're easily hurt, they might need to take steps in their environment to protect themselves. But they also look at, the Cancer is also about response to change, and whether you're going to melt into the background or whether you're going to use your intuition to step out with confidence. And so how does that relate to the Chariot card? The idea with that is to really be thinking about, and you can see here the stars at the top, this idea of linking into your intuition, linking into your greater sense. You don't need to be steering the chariot. You have the confidence to make life happen for you. If you want to know where the Chariot card sits on the astrological wheel, if we look here on this sheet, we can see that down here with Cancer, we can see that there is the Chariot card right here. So it sits on the astrological wheel here with the moon, and you can see here the High Priestess that we've talked about before, represented by the moon. You've got three cards here moving anti-clockwise around the astrological wheel. You've got the 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, and 4 of Cups. And then you can see the Queen of Cups. She sweeps across and takes Gemini across into Cancer. So if you want to know a little bit more in depth, I've got this cheat sheet as well. And these two come in a pack that give you just that little bit more detail about the Chariot card and the other cards associated on the astrological wheel. And the placement of the cards on the astrological wheel comes from the Golden Dawn. So this is not something that I've just dreamed up. It comes back to the deeper study of the card on the by the Golden Dawn. So if we look at the Hebrew letter, we're looking at the letter Chet. So we're looking from this Seraphot to this Seraphot. We're looking from Binah, which is understanding, to strength. So, and the symbol is fence. So this is about looking at all the possibilities that could happen for you in your life. Chet is about new beginnings. It represents your ability to take on new things with enthusiasm, energy, and humility. It's about looking at what's past. What do you have to step over with confidence, with understanding, with strength, and the world's your oyster. The classical element of water. So again, not forgetting our emotion in this process. We can step out, we can make all kinds of changes in our lives and step into our masculine energy, but it's important that we don't forget the feminine energy, and that's where the zodiac of Cancer and the element of water step in. So let's have a look at the color Symbolism, which of course is on the back of my cheat sheet. So sky, the yellow sky. Again, this is coming back to this whole idea of putting yourself out there, having a search for meaning, but being careful not to push too hard, or you might have a massive fall. That it's important to listen to not just what's going on inside you, not just what's going on out and around you, but also what's going on in the inside. The blue stars of the canopy and the blue symbolism take us into our emotion. Blue is symbolic of water and clarity of thinking and sky, and you can see the water in behind the chariot. The stars in the canopy, this is about freedom. It's about the universe. It's about standing under the stars and imagining everything that's possible, and at the same time reminding us of the astrological correspondences, which if you look on his armor on the skirt here, you can see what look like planetary symbols and astrological and elemental symbols. He's got the same thing on his belt, and every time I look at these cards I see something else, and that's not actually on my cheat sheet. But yes, I can see that there. Something that, in all my research I didn't even think about looking at. He's in armor, and that means he's armed and ready for life. You can even see here the carnival masks, again reminding us of emotion. You've got the sad face here and the happy face here. When you think about, those masks that have the sad and happy face, this idea again of really listening to your emotion. The chariot is a cube shape, which indicates that you can be boxed in. You can get caught in this karma of your destiny. But if you are able to step out of that, and you can see he's sort of standing in front of it, you are able to realize your destiny. But you need to be aware that you need to do this with balance. So if we look at the sphinxes, you've got, they're both in black and white. You've got black, which is feminine, white, which is masculine, and yet they also each have a headdress that embodies the other. So this idea of balance. The red spinning top on the front is symbolic of a winged sun, and it's a traditional Indian symbol which is about balancing out the opposites in life. The winged sun is about being prepared for life. So this is a sun and these are wings, and it's about our inner center or our life energy, which is the sun or our sun sign, and that is what's going to accompany us on our life journey. The staff is reminiscent, of course, of the staff that's held by the magician who channels his energy from sky to earth, the same as the chariot. The charioteer, he's holding his staff and he's prepared for life. In the background, we've got the city, which is very symbolic of man taking his destiny into his own hands and actively, building a barrier against the forces of nature. And then you have the trees and nature here still suggesting balance. And of course, the river here in behind, the flow of emotion, feeding nature, feeding the city, and creating that balance. So I hope that's helped you to understand the Chariot card a little bit more. Oh, something I didn't mention. When you look at the numerology, which is confidence and ability, number 7, the card that links to that is the Tower, which is Major Arcana card number 16. So 1 and 6 add together to form 7. And 7 is of course, is confidence and ability, but the Tower card is the real challenge to that. This is the everything is going to have a sudden and abrupt change. And how are you going to deal with that? How are you going to listen to yourself and create a shift in that? So that's that linkage across to the Chariot card. Of course, our next card in the series is Strength. So please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to my newsletter where I send out lots of goodies, and you also get reminders when all my videos come up on my YouTube channel, and you get to know what are the next things that I'm working on. So that's the Chariot card. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed talking about it. Every time I look at the cards, I see new things, which is super exciting. And of course, the more you have that deeper knowledge of the card, the more you can start to apply the meaning of the Chariot to your own life. So take care, everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.